Hi, welcome to Universe Image Creator, and today we are going to go over part 2 of our deep dive series, and the object is the nebula. Now to get to the nebula, we'll come up here to the tool drop down and select nebula, which is right under Starfield. Once we have it selected, we can click anywhere in this black area to place our nebula. Now, once we have that down, we can start with geometry. So the first thing we see under geometry is orientation. So to use it, let's select orientation, and then we can come anywhere over our nebula, click with the left click and move, and this will move our nebula. There we go. You can spin it around, basically changing the perspective of it. So I'm going to keep mine pretty flat. And once I'm done, I can come and I can click orientation again to unselect it. Next, under this, we'll do location. So select location, and then anywhere on the black screen you can click to place the nebula to move it around. And then when you're done with location, you can come click it again. Now the three things under this: distance, size, and shapes. So let's imagine this black area is a plane and the nebula is somewhere on this plane. So distance moves it back and forth along the plane. So this will move it farther away, and to the left it moves it closer, really close. See how close that is? So we'll move it right there. That's good. Size is very similar to distance, except distance moves it along the plane, but size just makes it go bigger. And it doesn't move it along a plane. So we can make it go really big or really small. So we'll do that. That's nice. The last one under this is shape. So shape just makes it wider or thinner. Really just plays around with that. So we'll make it wide like that. The last thing under geometry is billboard. So without billboard selected and you use your left click to move around, you're moving around like in a 360 way. So once you select billboard, when you try to move around, it keeps the nebula in that one point. And that's billboard. I usually keep it unselected, but it's whatever works for you and whatever's best. Our next section is texture. So the first things we see under texture is color. So let's do the primary color first. We'll select on the color bar, and then we can move around with all these different colors. So we'll do a nice light green. And then when I have the color, I'm going to click anywhere in this blue area. And those are green. Right under that is the secondary color. So we can select the color bar and change the color again. We'll change it to light blue. And once I have that color, I'm going to click in the blue area. There we go. After that color mix, this is how much contrast you want between the colors. So if we go one way, there you can see the difference between them better, and then if I go left, they're very mixed, so you can't really tell the difference. Now underneath that is blend. So blend basically takes, it's a drop down, so basically takes the colors and multiplies it with that of the background. So you can play around with any of these until you get to what you like. And then blend factor goes into that and how much it's blended in with the background like that. So what you see is the farther I go left, the darker it seems to get. And to the right, it's the lightest. Under that, we have fall off and fall off shape. So fall off is how far the nebula goes, falls off basically. So the further right I go, the smaller fall off, and the more to the left I go, the bigger it fills. So we'll have less fall off. And then the fall off shape makes the shape of it, wider, longer to each side. Next we have Vortex. this spins our nebula into this beautiful vortex, like a whirlpool. So you can have it really spinny or not very spinny, or just, you know, plain. Then we have black hole, which gives us a nice big black hole in the middle of our nebula. You can have it as big as you want or as small as you want, or no black hole. And the last one of the texture is repeat. And basically this is the repeat of the colors. You see at the moment we have only one color of the light blue and like 2 of the green. So if we click repeat, now we can see I have 3 of the green and 3 of the blues that you can see in bigger contrast. So that's repeat. And the last section is noise. So noise is basically a distortion of the image. So frequency, granularity, amplitude, and gain, you should just play around with, and some make it blurry, some adds a lot more texture. In the end, it's whatever you want, and the appearance is what makes you happy. So I just play around with all of these until you get something that you like. And then we see the last 2 buttons down here. So randomize basically randomizes the seed of nebula that you start with. So you click randomize and you see how it changes it like that. So it's basically changing the seed you start with, and then you can continue to change all of the geometry, texture, and noise. And the last thing is restore defaults, which is basically as it sounds. It restores the defaults of all these settings that you played around with. So now that we have a nebula that we like, we can come to File and click Save Image. And this will bring Save Scene as an image, so I can accept that. And I'll put Nebula, or whatever you want to name it. Make sure the height, width, you can play around with all this if you want JPEG or PNG. Just, you know, have fun with it. And then when you're done, you click Save. Sometimes it's going to pop up with this. You just click OK, and it should be fine. And then click to save on the computer, and there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!